All right. Fourth quarter of play, Hamman maintains a small lead over Wolfson. Well, depending on how you want to look at it, somewhat small. 29 imps separates the teams, but there's going to be 30 boards to go. For this segment, we're going to be following Bob Hamman. And I don't think we've seen anyone from his team play yet. So we'll take a look at the decisions from his perspective, kind of talk through some of the things that he might be thinking about as usual. And on the very first board, he's probably happy that his side is not vulnerable because he's looking at this long spade suit. His partner came in with 2 clubs. South has bid hearts, and the way this auction is going, almost anything could be happening, but it's very likely the opponents have a fairly large heart fit, with North, this one no bidder, having a sizable number of hearts. So it's worth noting that North-South are playing a precision system. This 1 spade followed by 2 hearts is very limited. And in fact, it's even more limited than you might think if you're used to 2/1 structures, because precision players would jump to 3 hearts with 5-5 on a lot of hands, right? With only like 12 or 13 high card points. If Larry had a hand that was like ace queen 5th, ace queen 10 5th, he would be jumping to 3 hearts here. So this tends to be like a 5-4 hand type, or maybe just like a very, very weak 5-5. But David Berkowitz, of course, with his semi-forcing 1 no trump, could have a fairly long heart suit. And yeah, so that's kind of what I expected the tank was going to be about. Again, board's on the other side of the screen, so we don't necessarily see what's going on or who was the one thinking. But now we do. So 4 hearts comes back. And from our hand, I mean, we probably expected something like this to happen. So we're on lead. I would say that either a diamond or a club both have merits, and this is probably one of those situations where you would prefer to have some partnership discussion about how good these 2-level overcalls are in terms of suit quality. Because a partner is very likely to have a suit of like at least ace-queen, or king-queen, then a club is way more attractive than a diamond from our holding. But if partner could have a suit that's like ace-empty, 6th, for example, maybe we don't want to lead clubs because that could potentially set up tricks for the defense, or the declaring side. So Bob does lead his club. Peter cashes 2 rounds of clubs. Worth noting that when we led the jack of clubs, Peter probably assumed that we didn't have the 10. And if Peter didn't have the 10 himself, there's no way that he would be cashing these 2 rounds of clubs before switching to diamonds. He can clearly see that if Declarer had the 10 of clubs, he would just be setting up a club discard for a diamond loser and dummy. So I think we can place our partner with the club 10. If nothing else. Two rounds of clubs. I mean, I can't imagine doing anything other than switching to diamonds here, so I was a little surprised that partner was thinking so long about it. But a diamond comes through, that does set up a diamond trick for us. We might not get it if South happens to hold the ace-queen of spades, or the ace-jack of spades, I guess. Spade to the king, and our partner follows with the stiff queen. So now Declarer will be able to claim the rest. He started with ace-jack 5th. So 11 tricks. I mean, with that dummy coming down, as long as South has a hand where he would be comfortable rebidding 2 hearts most of the time, and he does. I mean, he has a 15 count. East-west, or sorry, not east-west, north-south. But that partnership should be getting to a game. So it looks like a fairly flat board to start the set. And on the second board, we're red on white, first seat, but we have what appears could be a 2-diamond preempt if we had that bid in our arsenal. I forget, are Bob and Peter playing precision as well? I don't think so, but I could be wrong about that. Either way, Bob with such kind of a weak suit quality, and generally a pretty poor hand. I mean, 6-4 is good shape, and the Queen Jack 9/4 of clubs is excellent, but the Queen 10 Doubleton of Hearts is not really a working value. Hey Timo, welcome on in. Thank you for the kind words. So Bob elects to just pass throughout, which I think is a very sensible thing to do. You know, if you're unfavorable and you decide your hand is not worthy of a first seat preempt, it's probably not worthwhile to bid later in the auction once the opponents have exchanged this kind of information. So this could be a swing. Oh, or we might have gotten very lucky. Had we bid diamonds at any point, it's possible we would never have found our club fit. And now Peter has balanced with 3 clubs. You'll note that Bob had no real interest in showing any sort of club support. He could have raised 3 clubs to 4, or even maybe cubed if he wanted to show a good hand, but his partner was unable to overcall over spade. So Peter can't really have a hand that's as good as, say, ace-king 6th of clubs and an outside ace. And even that kind of hand wouldn't be on for 5 clubs, at least not yet. So we pass out 3 clubs. The opponents have to make a decision about whether or not to balance now. From our hand, it looks like they would be doing the right thing. We've clearly found a fairly large club fit. And we see David Berkowitz does bid 3 spades, which this is going to give us a bit of a problem. I wonder if Bob's going to spend time thinking about it or if he's just going to pass quickly. But it could easily be right to bid 4 clubs. We might be making that contract. I said that we weren't particularly close to be making 5, but 4 is another story. I think the opponents would be unlikely to double us in 4 clubs, given our trump length as well as our club honors. They probably don't have a ton of club tricks, although as I say that, Larry Cohen has a hand that I think probably would have doubled 4 clubs if it came back to him. And the final factor is that, I think the opponents are making 3 spades on this hand, so even if 4 clubs got doubled and we went down 1, it wouldn't be a huge loss. But on the flip side, Bob probably constructed a couple of hands that Peter could have held for this auction and decided that we just weren't making our contract. Therefore, there's no real gain in bidding vulnerable at imps, at least competing for the part score battle. So Declares pulled 2 rounds of spades. We have showed out. Oh God. I know, it's like every time I have the layout backwards. Thank you for reminding me. This is why I have chat around, to tell me that my layout is messed up, because I keep flipping back between single table and multi-table. So it's good that people remind me to do that. I really never remember. And even though I have a little preview on the side of the screen, I just don't think about that kind of stuff. So anyway, we're here now, everything's fixed. 2 rounds of trumps were pulled and then Declare paused for thought. I think that might indicate that trumps are not splitting well, as in our partner started with 4 of them. This is one of those positions where, ooh, look at that. Well, that's a very telling layout of the suits. So now we know that Declare started with 4 hearts, right? Dummy had 5. Our partner would never have squashed our queen with the king looking at this jack and dummy. But anyway, what I was saying is that when Declare pulls a couple of rounds of trumps and very clearly, you know, took a pause to think about what to do next and then does not continue pulling trumps, we know that Declare has more trumps that he needs to pull. He wouldn't have spent a long time thinking about a 3 spade bid with a 7-card suit earlier in the auction. So it sounds as if Peter, or our partner, happens to hold an extra trump over there. Okay. So now Declare is playing back the jack of spades. Peter gets to win this trick. And if I'm right, oh, it looks like I'm not right. I was gonna say, if I'm right, Peter will then be able to tap Declare out of spades. So I wonder what the long tank was after 2 rounds of spades held. I'm very excited to learn what Declare's hand was. Wait, did I miss something? I wish I could click back through the play. How did... Oh, clubs were 2-2 between Declare and dummy. I see. That makes sense then. So that's why we weren't able to tap Declare out. Gotcha. Okay, board 33. I'm focused now. We have a 15 count. I don't know why, I find it harder to focus on just one table now, having gotten used to the 2-table view. But I'll do my best. So our left-hand opponent opens 1 diamond precision. And we have this nice diamond suit. We also have a 15 count. Our partner's not able to act over a diamond. We'll see what Bob elects to do. I think there are 2 possibilities here. He could overcall a no trump if he wants, which seems perfectly fine. Okay, there's 3 possibilities. This one was not really on my radar, but it was like a far distant third, in my opinion. So I was thinking, like, he could overcall a no trump, right? He has a source of tricks, which is nice. And despite only having 15 high card points, I think he would often come to 6 or even 7 tricks with very little help from his partner. So I wouldn't be too worried about getting doubled in 1-0. That's kind of the main concern for why you might not want to overcall with a hand like this. The second possibility would be to just bid 2 diamonds. I think many players play 2 diamonds as natural over precision 1 diamond bids. So 2 diamonds wouldn't be like Michael's showing both majors in this case. But the third option, you know, if you want to be ultra conservative, and we've seen this a lot from the Hamman team throughout this match, that they tend to be, you know, several high card points more conservative than their counterparts in the other room on almost every decision. And so Bob elects to just pass throughout. He lets the opponents play in a no trump. This would be a horrible decision at match points, letting the opponents play in 1-no undoubled, no one vulnerable, as opposed to your side playing in 1-no. But we'll see how it goes. He does have a good opening lead. So he leads the queen of diamonds. This could be asking for count or an unblock. I mean, maybe it's just asking for count. That's possible. But I guess we'll see what signal our partner gives. Looks like we're playing standard attitude signals at the very least, and presumably standard count signals from the carding that we gave on one of the previous boards in this set. Queen 3, 6, 4. Okay? So we'll cash another diamond, definitely. And it might be a little important as to which diamond we cash. If we cash the diamond ace, it might suggest that we would prefer, you know, some higher ranking suit to be led. And if we cash the diamond king, we might prefer a lower ranking suit. So Bob cashes the diamond ace, which, you know, from Peter's perspective, probably doesn't look like spades, seeing as how there's the ace queen and dummy, and therefore might suggest some heart values. So the missing diamond spots are the 10 and 7, and if we believe Peter's count on the first diamond, that he went 6 and then 5, declare followed with the 4 and then deuce, I think South has the 10, 7 of diamonds remaining, because Peter, and so Bob also does, because Peter with 10, 7, 6, 5 would have played the 7 at trick 1, squandering the beer completely, but giving the loudest count signal that he possibly could. I mean, Peter may well have dumped the 10 as well from that holding, but he definitely would not have played the 6, an intermediate fuzzy spot card. So we can be pretty confident that Larry Cohen is sitting on a diamond stopper with 10 doubleton remaining. He doesn't know that we started with a 5-card diamond suit, but we do. So this means that unless Larry discards a diamond at some point in the play, we're really going to be restricted to only one more diamond trick. I did not see the previous heart trick, so I don't know what Peter actually played for a spot card. I was not paying attention. But presumably Bob will know what to switch to now. So if that Queen of Hearts got a positive attitude signal from Peter, Bob will probably continue the Jack of Hearts. Otherwise, it seems very likely that Bob will just switch to a spade right now. We might be stranding our King of Diamonds, depending on the rest of the hand, if we do so, but we would additionally be stranding Declarer's 10 of Diamonds by not cashing our King. So Bob does continue with the Jack of Hearts, Peter following with a low spot. And it is important to note that South did bid a heart in the auction, which we knew previous to switching to the Queen of Hearts into that ace doubleton and dummy. So a third round of hearts is not guaranteed to be the right plan. That may well set up Larry's heart trick. And in this case, it's possible that just exiting passively, either in spades or clubs, Declarer might be able to take 4 clubs and the ace of spades from here, but that could be the end of tricks for his side. Well, Bob is thinking about it. So I think cashing the King of Diamonds is probably off the table. Playing a club is probably also off the table. That doesn't look... It looks like Declarer was trying to set up that suit, so no need to help him. And Bob's probably just, you know, thinking about the possible heart holdings that his partner could have, and whether or not he might need to play a heart to his partner's hand so that Peter's able to cash 2 hearts before exiting, or if Bob might need to put a spade through the ace-queen right now. We'll see what he ends up doing. He's taken some time with it, and this, I guess I'm not that surprised that this is a hand that he elected to spend a little bit of time on. But this is, of course, not like the board that's going to swing the entire match. This isn't some 6 no-trump contract where you're on lead at trick 2 and you need to find the correct switch to break up a squeeze. If 1 no makes, so be it. He might lose a small swing, but this shouldn't really... I mean, you should always think about and try and make the right play, but this is not going to be one of those hands that he's going to be too concerned if he does the wrong thing. Hey, Hatikva. Welcome from Israel. Glad to have you here. Yeah, I've noticed that there's been a bit more popularity for the channel since I've been pretty regularly streaming coverage of these events the past few days. So, happy to have some new faces popping into the chat. Well, Bob has really given this one a look. The other room ended up playing in 2 spades in the west hand, and this, I think, is something I had mentioned earlier, where kind of West must have overcalled a no-trump in the other room, and East, after a no-trump, must have transferred to spades. It looks like that's how North-South, or East-West, might end up in a 2-spade contract. So that just demonstrates a little bit of the difference in style between both of these teams. I think Wolfson has a bit more of a modern style to their squad, where they're happy to open on lighter hands. They're happy to get in these aggressive overcalls because overall it's going to produce positive imps. It doesn't look like it's gone that way in this match so far, but there could be other factors at play. Good morning, V8. Glad to have you. Aren't you playing something this weekend? You're playing like a mixed event with scissors. I guess you're there now, but you're just like hanging out in the hotel or something. Okay. So Bob elects to switch to the 10 of spades. And it runs around to declares king. I think Bob's going to be fairly happy with that result. That, you know, he didn't give up a trick. That's kind of the main concern that he might have had for the spade switch, where it might have run around to declares Jack Doubleton or something, and that would set up spade tricks. But he knew that he couldn't really cash the diamond king, and as we see, Larry Cohen did indeed have that diamond stopper that I had mentioned. So I suspect exactly what happened at the other table that I had predicted. West had overcalled a no-trump with his hand, East had transferred to spades, and earns Wolfson a couple of imps. Day 2 starts in a couple of hours. Got it. And you're 16th at the halfway point out of 86 pairs. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. If you have another solid set, you'll move further up. This is a pairs event, right? It's not like board a match or teams or something. I guess no one else does board a match. From what I've heard, nowhere else in the world does board a match other than the US. It's like my favorite form of scoring, but mixed board a match? Oh, it is? Oh, I need to come to Australia, it sounds like. You all play good events over there. Well, cool. I wish you the best of luck. But it sounds like... Oh, mixed pairs. Swiss match points converted to victory points. Swiss match points converted to victory. Okay, I think I know what you mean. Got it. That's cool. That's an interesting form of scoring. We don't have that here in the US, and I've never played an event like that, but that's neat. You know, I might go as far as to say another slightly interesting decision. Now, partner's a passed hand here. I was distracted during the auction. But over a precision diamond, takeout doubles don't tend to be like takeout of a diamond. They tend to be takeout of both minors, and therefore imply the major suits. And Bob, I mean, he doesn't have the perfect distribution for it, but he's favorable. And he has a 4-card spade suit and ace-king third of hearts with an opening hand. Some players would definitely have made a takeout double on his cards, but he elects not to, which means that once again, North-South have kind of stolen the auction from his side and are playing in a no-trump. And I mean, like, look at this, right? Like, again, we have East-West, so the Wolfson squad in both rooms is declaring the contract. And I think I mentioned this before, that when I see that from my teammates, regardless of what our results are on the boards, I would expect to win the match if that's happening on every hand. Now, obviously, the Hamman squad has done quite well for themselves. So far, they're still up 22 imps, despite being ultra-conservative in the bidding. But I wonder if some of this stuff is going to come back to bite them later on in the match, because they're just letting the opponents walk all over them in these auctions, not getting involved. I mean, especially when they're not vulnerable. Like, I kind of understand the merits in this case, where you're defending a no-trump red. You're not that disappointed about that kind of result. But still, you could have missed a spade game for your side for all you knew. So 2 rounds of diamonds. Partner looks like they had encouraged the diamond lead. So we're just going to continue attacking that suit, if at all possible. There was a potential for a Bob Hamman / Zia Mahmood moment if Bob wanted to lead a low heart through Queen 10-4. But I don't think he's in a position where he needs to do that right now. And he might have the opportunity to do it later, right? Like if Peter ends up cashing a couple of diamonds and switching to a low heart, we can win the ace and return the 7. So it's still possible that our side can collect 3 heart tricks defensively here. And it's a good thing for Bob to spend some time thinking about, and especially for this reason, because he needs to be prepared to play the 7 of hearts in tempo. Now, this might lose, right? Like, if the 8 of hearts had gone to the 10 and Peter didn't follow, or didn't win the trick, then we might lose a heart trick quickly, and the defense would know what's going on. Not defense. I say defense because I'm looking at our hand, but we're the ones defending. But anyway, so it was good that Bob thought about this ahead of time, might have been planning to do this himself at some point to lead a low heart, but then when Larry Cohen puts a heart on the table, he was quick to play low. And he's collected 3 heart tricks for his side, which is, you know, I guess I would say good news. Maybe a bit of an interesting decision from our partner to not play another diamond here and instead to switch to a club. They could be thinking that it's possible we're getting in played. If they put a diamond through. So our 10 of clubs wins. I think we're doing quite well on defense. I mean, I don't really understand what Bob's thinking about. We can just cash a diamond and 2 hearts, right? Very strange to not just cash a diamond and 2 hearts. This is imps, right? Like, sure, the opponents are vulnerable and extra under tricks are valuable in that case, but they aren't doubled. I mean, unless I'm missing something. Maybe he's just being careful, right? So Declare has turned up with what so far? Declare has turned up with the Diamond King. Nothing in hearts. We don't really know much about the club or spade suits. Yeah, I don't think we have enough information to not just cash out here. Bob disagrees. Oh, okay then. So it looks as if our partner has pretty good spades. Oh, we're beating this million tricks now. So 9 of diamonds, Declare. I mean, I don't think Declare is necessarily getting squeezed, but he does have the rest, apparently. Ace of spades and maybe 2 top clubs or something like that. King of spades. Oh, no. The queen of spades was good in dummy. And there was a heart and 1 top club. So, kind of interesting that Larry Cohen elected not to put in the queen of clubs when a club came through. I guess we will need to hold that thought, though, because we're on to the next board. I wish there was an easy way to pull up a replay. I guess I probably could do it if I had 2, like, side-by-side windows, and I created, like, a different scene for it. It's probably not worth attempting at this point. We're too late in the match. So Larry Cohen opens a 14 to 16, no trump. We pass. This time I agree with pass. I don't think we should be acting with just balanced 8 counts, red-white, over the opponent's strong opening bids. We get transfer to hearts. And I think this is probably an important thing to pay attention to. We're short in the transfer suit, the diamond, the 2 diamond bid. So our partner is likely to have some diamond length. If our partner really wanted to, hey Scissors, if our partner really wanted a diamond lead, they might have doubled 2 diamonds. So for that reason, I would be very tempted to lead a spade against 2 hearts. Okay, well 2 hearts has not passed out, in fact. But that would be my thought process here, is that if partner passed out 2 hearts, partner had the opportunity to double 2 diamonds for the lead, and probably would have if they had some honors in the suit, given this inference that we're short and they're likely long. Well, the auction is sped up a bit. You know, this kind of looked like we weren't really gonna find a fit or play the contract our way. But when our partner balanced with 2 spades and we had 4-card support, the opponents had pretty clearly found a heart fit because Larry Cohen competed to 3 hearts, which doesn't have to be based on a 4-card suit, but oftentimes will be, I think, especially because his partner has promised nothing over there. So we're happy to try and compete to 3 spades. We might even have a game. That's something that Bob might have been thinking about. I unfortunately can't actually add in an extra Nightbot command to that thing. I guess I could. I could link specifically the 69 imp thing to a different message. But no, I'm just way too lazy. Okay. so we kind of guessed correctly, as Bob did during the auction. The opponents have a 9-card heart fit. Therefore, our partner has a singleton. Ace of spades lead. Not a terrible opening lead for either side, but it is starting to look like the spades are 2-2. Larry Cohen with ace third of spades probably would have led a low one. That would be much more common. So that means we'll be able to ruff both diamonds in the dummy. We're going to lose the ace of spades, we're going to lose a heart. The king of diamonds is probably offside, given the no trump opener. We'll lose one trick in that suit, and therefore we just need to hold our club losers to 1. All right, so Larry cashes the heart ace and then continues with the second round trumps. And they were splitting 2-2. Well, we can count the high card points, right? So Bob Hammon's hand had 8. Declarer started with, well, all of these honors. So still has the 11 that he started with. That's 19. Larry Cohen's 1-no was 14-16, which means that between east, south, and west, we have 33 to 35 highs accounted for, which means David Berkowitz has 5 to 7 high card points remaining. Or has 5 to 7 high card points total on the hand. Now, some of those are likely to be in hearts, and I almost have the suspicion that David Berkowitz has exactly the king of hearts, which I think would give him necessarily one of the minor suit kings, unless he had just the king of hearts and both of the minor suit jacks. That would be 5. So to me, I think I would take the club player line of play on this one. I would play a diamond to the queen, I would play a club to the ace, and I would play a club to the queen. The reason I kind of suspect that that's the layout of the heart suit is, I suppose we're about to find out. Okay, it does go heart to the king, but this could be a good false card from David Berkowitz. I think Larry Cohen with ace empty fourth of hearts. I don't know why. It just feels like the defense felt a little weird to me if Larry had only ace fourth of hearts. But if Larry had ace queen fourth, you know, he played ace of spades and then cashed the heart ace and then played a spade. It felt, for whatever reason, like he was trying to avoid himself getting end played. And like looking at the jack third of hearts in dummy, he might have been worried that if Peter had stiff king and it went spade spade, Peter could exit the king of hearts and Larry would actually be end played at that point. So anyway, that's probably my long-winded version of why I think the hearts are the way they are, which therefore means that I think David Berkowitz is highly likely to have one of the minor suit kings. So ace of diamonds, the 10 drops, we ruff a diamond. We're just trying to get a bit more information on the hand before making our decision. David Berkowitz does turn up with the diamond jack, which is a little unfortunate news for us. Okay, and now he does turn up with the heart queen. It would have been a very strong play for David Berkowitz to not play the queen of hearts on the jack here, but he might have been worried that Declarer was planning to like discard this somehow and end play as his partner. But now now this means that since David has turned up with king, queen of hearts, jack of diamonds, we know Larry has basically all of the missing cards, minus the potential of the jack of clubs. Additionally, it looks like the clubs are 3-3 between the two hands. Because North started with 5 hearts, 2 spades. Now we know North started with 3 diamonds and therefore 3 clubs. So I think the plan here is to lead a low club to the 10. If we know Larry has the club king. If Larry has the club jack in addition, club to the 10 will just naturally pick up the suit for 2 tricks. And if David happens to have the jack of clubs, then when David returns a club, because he's forced to, a rough sluff would give us the contract, we can stick in the 8. And this will make the contract when David Berkowitz started with jack 9 third of clubs. Ooh, Declarer opts for an alternative line, leading low to the 7. So he was playing Larry Cohen for... Wasn't this just like strictly worse? Okay, I mean it wasn't strictly worse, but he was playing Larry Cohen for king 9 third of clubs. Right? Hold on. I'm pretty sure that's correct. Anyway, it feels weird not to play the overcaller or the no trump opener to have all of the missing honors that he could have had. But it worked out. Nice little end play there by Peter to collect a swing for his side. We did see the other room went down in 3 spades. And this means Hamman has kind of solidified their lead a little bit. It's now 34. 34 imps for them. Whoa! I was gonna say, yeah, we have a hand that looks like a Michael's bid of 2 spades, but Larry Cohen got to it before us. So we pass in first seat. Pass, our partner opens a spade in third, and Larry Cohen chose hearts and a minor with 2 spades. Wouldn't it be funny if he had hearts and clubs, not hearts and diamonds? Well, we elect to pass. I think that seems safe to say. If we had a little bit more in the way of values, like maybe if we had an extra ace or king in one of these round suits, we could consider doubling to suggest penalties against South's hand. But here we don't really want to suggest penalizing or make our partner believe we have more values than we have. Like, of course we would double the opponents if they ended up in hearts, and maybe even if they ended up in clubs, but we're not going to double them in diamonds, and partner might expect us to have a bit more values for our bid. Okay, so Peter Weichsel bids our other singleton, which is not good news, after a 3 clubs passer correct from North. I have the suspicion that Larry Cohen is sitting on a diamond suit and is looking at this bid thinking that he's been completely saved. So we might be about to get in trouble, but I guess we'll have to see what happens. Now, this is something that behind screens is a little, you don't get like the full experience of playing bridge at the table. But because we're not behind screens, we can kind of see David Berkowitz is spending some time thinking. And I wonder if what's going through his mind is he bid 3 clubs passer correct, right? David might have a bit of a club suit over here, like 3 or 4 clubs. East bid 3 diamonds and his partner didn't double that bid, he might have expected Larry to double with a diamond stack behind the 3 diamond bid. So David might think that Larry actually has a club suit. Okay, but he does elect to pass, and we'll see what happens next. Our partner might not be done. No, Peter is done. Larry might not be done. I mean, I think he's done making any forward-going noise, but he might double this if he does have diamonds. He does not. We might have dodged a bullet. I still expect this to go down a couple tricks. But at least we're not doubled, right? No double, no trouble. The opponents play Rusino leads, so Queen of Hearts shows the king. Which is a little surprising. You know, that's starting to sound like there's another singleton ace somewhere, potentially in our partner's hand. Or maybe North just has ace doubleton. We're going to find out soon enough. Okay. Queen of Hearts to the ace, and oh, this is gross. Our partner may have overstepped his bounds a little bit on this hand. I mean, a very, very weak 5-5, opposite a partner who's not bidding. I don't think you should ever make this 3 diamond bid. Especially when you don't know what the opponent's suits are. You could have easily just picked off their diamond suit. Which I'm pretty sure Peter did. I guess we're about to find out if David Berkowitz pitches a diamond here. Yeah, now when Peter roughs a diamond, it's going to get over-roughed. This is going to be a disaster. So yeah, Peter should be very thankful that he was not doubled in this contract. And I think part of the fault in that is that Larry Cohen just was happy to get a plus score. But some of the things that how should I phrase it? The younger generation of experts does quite well is that when they sense blood, they just start doubling the opponents. And they'll collect large penalties on hands like this, which turn into a lot of imps. All right, well, Peter now has what I expect to be a pretty full count on the hand. Hopefully everyone else has been paying attention, because I haven't. I know the count in the diamond suit and the heart suit, but I was not watching the club tricks. So I don't know exactly what Larry Cohen's shape is. But a club comes through, it gets roughed. I'm a little surprised that David Berkowitz led a low club, forcing Larry to rough, as opposed to, you know, maybe a high club, which would have prevented Peter from throwing a diamond loser on this trick. But regardless, it's still going to be a bit of a slaughter. Another diamond can come through roughed if necessary, or Larry might just elect to continue tapping Declarer and hearts. Something like diamond rough, club comes back, rough, diamond rough, another club promoting another trump trick or something. Feels like we're going down about 3 from this stage. And yeah, I mean, look at this, right? If Peter didn't act on his hand, then the opponents were just headed for 3 diamonds in South's diamond suit, and that was going to sail down. A little surprised it didn't get doubled, but I guess understandably, with East having a partner who was uncooperative throughout the entire auction. So a diamond does get roughed. Now a high club comes through. So Peter could either pitch his winning king of diamonds, in which case the jack of clubs wins the trick, or he can ruff, get over ruffed, but now another diamond will get ruffed with a low spot. So that's already 3 down, but it's starting to seem as if the defense has run out of resources. 6 tricks for declare, but still quite a large swing going the way of Wolfson. Then again, if this was 900, it would have been, 800 for 3 spades doubled down 3, and 900 total. It would have been, I don't know, some number of imps. Let's say 14. 14 feels like about the right number for 900 points. So Wolfson clawing their way back. 25 imps down now, with a bit less than 25 boards to play. 24 boards left to go. And okay, I guess we're about to see how scared Bob Hamman is of bidding. Oh my god, hold on. Okay, everyone freeze. Partner bid a heart. Can we pause for a second and make sure that that doesn't need to get undone? Partner didn't mean to bid a spade or a diamond. They misclicked like right in the middle of both of those bids. I was going to say, we're going to see if the auction starts like a club pass a spade, is Bob Hamman going to come in with like 3 or 4 hearts or something favorable after the precision 1 club opener? Now, I'm wondering whether or not he's just going to blast 5 hearts directly. It might be a bit much. He has a lot of defense, and the opponents haven't really promised that they're going to find their spade fit. But, I would be very worried about the auction going, I bid 4 hearts. Oh, okay then. That is an exciting bid. This is a winning bridge bid. I am in love with 6 hearts right now. So I was going to say, I think if Bob only bid 4 hearts, I would be very worried the auction continued 4 spades, pass. And now we would have a very difficult decision. So Bob could have bid 5 hearts, which I think might be like the value bid, if you want to call it that from this perspective. But Bob understands that, why make the value bid when you can bid 1 more and potentially force them into an even worse decision? I don't know if 6 spades is going down, but we do have a lot of defense on our side. Okay, Bob makes a practical decision to just save in 7 hearts. I think very reasonable. And this is, don't try this at home, kids. I wouldn't say that you should just go do this in your local clubs when you play a team game. But at high levels of competition, if you expect that your side has a fairly cheap save against whatever their contract is, it's often right to just make it. So Bob was hoping that he was getting doubled in 6 hearts, bid about as high as he was comfortable in the first round, and then just kind of conceded the fact that Queen Jack third of diamonds is unlikely to take a trick. North probably has a heart void for his 6 spade bid, and King Queen of clubs are probably working, but for 1 trick. But that'll be the end of the defensive assets on this hand. You're definitely going to try this. It can work. I mean, it's a better bid if your opponents make bids like 6 spades. What's going to happen at local club is that people will just double you in 6 hearts, but people will also double you in 4 hearts. So I think you're just going to end up losing out, because there will be worse decision making made in some of these cases. So I suspect that Bob is correct. We haven't seen the north-south cards, but just looking at Declarer's hand, I think diamonds are probably going to be 6-2 on this auction. At least frequently, they'll be 6-2. And north should have a heart void, in which case we're going to take at most one club, no diamonds. Actually, it's starting to sound as if the opponents are making 7 spades, right? Oh, this is another inference that I kind of missed. Okay, this is quite a strong inference. North jumped to 6 spades and clearly has put his side in a forcing pass situation. With first round heart control, he may have elected to just pass 7 hearts, leaving the decision up to his partner. Now that's not 100%, because David Berkowitz might have a hand with a heart control, but with some other losers outside. You know, maybe he was looking at ace third of clubs, king third of diamonds, heart void, and 7 solid spades. That would be a hand where, like, even if he has first round heart control, and I mean, look at this. This is incredible. 7 hearts doubled at both tables. So like, even if David had first round heart control, he might say, well, that might not be enough in and of itself to make a slam. I don't want to leave this decision up to partner, and I should just take my surplus. But yeah, now that I'm thinking about it, of course north doesn't have a heart void. Like, I thought that when he bid 6 spades, which I think was a sensible assumption, but once he elects to double 7 hearts, he was clearly in a forcing pass, and many of these hands with a heart void would just pass there, leave the decision up to partner. So we don't know yet if 6 spades was going down, but we do know from the scorecard at the very least that this is not going to be a swing. North-south are going to be able to take another diamond, and then it will just depend on the club situation. If we have 1 club loser or 2, looks like only 1 based on the score from the other room. Well, Larry Cohen's spending some time thinking about his plan. I might be a little nervous now, though, actually, as Bob Hamman. Well, sorry, not as Bob. Bob is done. He doesn't care what happens anymore. He's made his choice. But as Peter, with such a long club fit, it's very possible that North actually had 3-card diamond support. And now that the ace of hearts is cashing, you might be scoring a diamond trick against 6 spades. Did we really just play low on a club switch? We actually just played low on a club switch? Wait. Can we back that up a second? There needs to be an instant replay on this. We just played... It was necessary to play low. That's amazing. Oh, but he's not going to be happy. Six spades is going down. They have a diamond and a heart. Wait. Okay, 6 spades is going down if Peter Weichsel finds a diamond lead at trick 1 and then gets in with a heart and continues another diamond. Otherwise, Bob Hamman actually gets squeezed in the minor suits. Wow. Okay then. Actually, maybe it's enough to cash the ace of hearts and then switch to diamonds. But something to that effect, I believe, beats 6 spades. So 6 spades might have made. Very worthwhile to take a 500 save. Although I'm still a bit surprised that Declare picked up the club suit. How did he do that? Also, was it correct? I don't even know if it was correct to pick up the club suit. Well, well done by Peter. He avoided a pretty sizable loss. If he had gone for 800, that would have been 7 imps, maybe, to Wolfson. So Hamman's still ahead by 25. Thanks for stopping by, V8. Have fun at your mixed event. Okay, our partner opens a club. It's nice that the other room is like kind of keeping pace with our boards, so that like midway through the play we've been able to see the result from their room, which I think is a little bit better than just never seeing it and having some imps pop up on the scoreboard over here from time to time. So auction starts, the club, a hard overcall. We decide to make a negative double, which a lot of players might not agree with, but I think this is kind of catering to this conservative style that the Hamman team has been playing throughout, where your negative double really should promise 4 spades here, because 1 spade would show 5. But the issue with 1 spade is that 1 spade is forcing, and you're forcing your side up to the 2 level, or maybe to a no trump. And both of those are things you don't really want to do with just like a 5 count in response to partner's opening bid, especially when you're vulnerable. So Bob kind of going for this more conservative approach where he's lying about his spade length, which means he's not always going to find his 5-3 spade fits, but he's going to keep the auction a little bit lower for his side. And David Berkowitz bids 2-0, showing a good heart raise. And, well, Bob's going to be thrilled about this bid. 4 spades. They've found a spade fit. His partner's jumped to game, and he has a bit of a surprise for him, an extra trump, which will be very welcome given that I think Peter's sitting on a singleton or maybe even a void in hearts. All right, auction's not over yet. David Berkowitz does balance with 5 hearts. And, ooh, now we might get into a little bit of trouble, right, for our decision on the first round of bidding. Well, Peter doubles 5 hearts, and Bob, I mean, we're sitting on king, queen of diamonds. That is a trick. The extra spade is now kind of not working for our side. It's working against us. Our extra trump length means that the opponents are very likely to be short in that suit. Well, it looks like this contract is probably going down, but only just. If Larry Cohen has the king of hearts and a club honor, then we're going to be setting up a club trick at trick 1. So we'll have a club trick. We're going to take a diamond trick with our king, queen. And our partner only has 4 spades. Presumably they contain the ace. So we'll get a spade trick, but Declare will have the rest from there. Now it's possible that Larry Cohen once again has this diamond situation where he has like 9/3 of diamonds opposite ace jack 8/4, and he'll lead the 9 of diamonds and run it to our partner's 10. So Bob might want to be ready if Larry Cohen leads a diamond up towards the ace jack at some point. He'll need to decide, am I splitting my honors? to guarantee beating this a trick, which I think is the right decision, or should I play low and risk letting Declare stick in the jack, and then if he only has a doubleton diamond to start, we'll have lost our opportunity to take a diamond trick. So Declare is attempting to set up some club ruffs in the dummy. Not that surprising. I mean, it looks like Larry Cohen is short in spades, has a few hearts, but maybe not too many more than 5. And a couple of diamonds, but presumably once again, even though he has a couple of diamonds, he's gonna still have a handful of clubs over there that he needs to ruff good. Or just to ruff a couple of losers in the dummy, one way or another. So another interesting point is to kind of think about while we're defending. Now, I don't think Bob should take his mind off of making sure he does the right thing when Declare leads a diamond up. And so we could spend a while focusing on that, but I kind of want to draw attention to another point, right? The auction might not end in 5 hearts doubled at the other table. We can see from David Berkowitz's hand that the only thing he has going for him, pulling 4 spades to 5 hearts and getting doubled, is the vulnerability. He had 2 aces, which could provide defense, and he has spade length, which is also not great offensively for his side. So from his hand's perspective and our teammates' perspective in the other room, our teammates might just sell out to 4 spades, in which case we want to be aware on defense whether or not 4 spades is actually making. Looks like we have no spade losers. Right? Partner has ace, king, queen, 4th. We had 5 small. We'll find out shortly if we have 1 heart loser or none. Although if partner's void in hearts, maybe that jack 3rd of spades is going to get promoted into a trump trick by tapping East's hand a couple times. We definitely have a diamond loser. I mean, there's no chance that partner's void in diamonds over there. So we'll be losing at least 1 diamond. We're losing at least 1 club. Right? Declare had the club ace in this contract. And it's very possible that our diamonds are 3-3 for 3-3 round, in which case, oh God, not again. We've seen this happen twice now. Oh geez. 6 of diamonds to the 8 and 9. So it wasn't even that Larry Cohen had 9/3. And he was taking the percentage play in the diamond suit. He was just, I don't know, hoping that Bob had made a mistake on his hand, not playing a diamond to the jack. Yikes. Well, I mean, that's good news for Bob's side, right? Now we do have another diamond trick coming home. Or at least we should. So this is going to end up being down 2. I don't think it's going to end up being more than that. Although I'm a little suspicious as to why Declare hasn't pulled trumps yet. All he's turned up with in terms of high cards is the club ace, so it would be a little weird for him to not have the heart king and be wondering if he needs to drop the stiff king in our partner's hand. So I kind of suspect that he's going to start pulling trumps now, but I could be wrong. He's still spending some time thinking. Okay, he does finally elect to pull at least one round of trumps. And now we get to see that our partner does have a heart. So getting back to this analysis of the 4-spade contract, our partner started with either 4-1-3 shape or 4-1-2-6 shape. We don't 100% know the layout of the minor suits yet. I'm suspecting that our partner started with 4-1-3-5. But we will find out shortly. Oh my. Huge result in the other room for the Hamman team. 4 hearts bid and made, which means Declare did get the diamonds right in that position. So our partner was 4-1-3-5, and I think that means that we actually have 2 diamond losers, a heart loser, and a club loser in a spade contract. 4 spades was not making. And we could probably go back to David Berkowitz's action to balance 5 hearts there, thinking, sure, it's going to be a cheap save, but I pointed out all these reasons why he had a lot of defense in his hand. And defense sometimes means the opponents aren't even making their contract. So phantom sacrifices don't earn your side a lot of imps, and in this case they've cost his side 12. So board 39, Hamman has now once again stretched their lead to about 37 imps. Well, to exactly 37 imps, but they've stretched it to mid-30s, which they've kind of been maintaining for a couple of segments now. Larry Cohen opens 3 hearts. We don't have any bid to make over 3 hearts, so we pass. It passes out. We'll lead our singleton club. And this is pretty typical dummy for these kinds of auctions, right? Small singleton trump, a bunch of wasted values in all of the other suits. Not a great hand for us defensively. Like, our defensive prospects are I think, fairly slim. Partner can give us a club ruff, it would seem. But then where do we go from there? I think our plan at that point has to be cross to partner's diamond ace, get another club ruff, try and cash the diamond king, and then if that doesn't work, hope that Declare takes a hook into our stiff king of hearts. Or that partner has like queen doubleton in hearts, which is possible. So you will note partner returned the deuce of clubs, suit preference signal for diamonds, which is why Bob switched to a diamond. 3 diamonds from our side, again, is suggesting, hey, I'm happy for you to play another round of clubs. And Larry Cohen now, at a bit of a crossroads it seems, feels as if he has started now with a doubleton club, right? Otherwise he would have just followed to this trick. A singleton diamond, otherwise he probably would have discarded a diamond on this trick. Just let us ruff one of his losers. 7 hearts, he opened 3 hearts, and therefore 3 spades. But with the king of spades on side, the contract is going to come home. And there's not really much we can do about it. I have the feeling that we're going to try the king of diamonds at this point. Okay, Bob plays a low spade, but Declare without any other options, since we're playing imps, he's going to try and make his contract. He's going to take the spade hook. like, even if the queen of clubs was cashing, he just doesn't have enough discards for all, well, for his 2 spade losers that he has. So he just needs the finesse. Now he'll do his best to pull trumps, I imagine. Maybe Larry's hearts were ace queen 10 7th, and he's going to need to play a heart to the 10 right now. But I think he should work it out. If we started with king jack 3rd of hearts, we probably wouldn't have led our singleton club, because we would have 2 natural heart tricks and we wouldn't really be looking for ruffs. Okay, he was thinking of taking like some very deep finesse in the heart suit, which would have worked, but also was not necessary. So 9 tricks. The other table did manage to make a 10th. I presume that means they didn't find their club ruff. And we got 6 boards to go in this segment. There will be a short break then in between segments, and we will resume play for the last 15 boards, during which, oh, you know what I said? I actually told someone that they should join me for commentary today, and I have the feeling I might have stranded someone on Discord. I don't think I got a text. I did not get a text, but hopefully no one is lost. I figure they could have come here and just said hi in the chat and let me know that I had promised to do some commentary with them. But all right, board 40. So 2 passes, our partner opens 2 clubs in 3rd seat. This is strong, artificial, and game forcing, other than some very specific auctions. We'll bid 2 diamonds. I mean, unless we're playing some sort of fancy controls type stuff. We don't really have enough for a positive bid in any suit, nor do we really want to make one. My understanding of positives over 2 clubs is, I think I've mentioned this before, they should be forcing through 4 no trump. So 4 no trump could be a potential place to play if we don't find a fit somewhere. And we don't really have a hand that feels comfortable like forcing all the way up to, you know, such a high level with, you know, no potential fit found yet. Like, partner could easily have a long diamond suit that they're planning on showing. And more to the point, that we've taken up an entire level of bidding with this 2 club opening, and we really want to fight back for the space, so use up bids that are as cheap as possible to allow our partner to start communicating what his hand looks like. 2 clubs, people will always say, and this is definitely true, it is the worst opening bid to make. Sometimes you have to do it because you just have a very strong hand that you can't show otherwise, but this is a part of the 2/1 system that is significantly worse than all of the other systems out there where there's a strong opening at the 1 level, like whether that's 1 club or 1 diamond or whatever other sort of strong opening you have available. Those systems are much better positioned to deal with these strong hand types than 2/1. Okay, so interesting systemic agreement here. Maybe this is like an extension of Kokish of some kind, where Peter with a 5-card heart suit could have gone through 2 hearts, Kokish, relay, and then bid his side suit, presumably hearts and diamonds, to show equal or better length in the heart suit. But here he was able to bid 3 hearts directly, showing 4-card hearts and a longer diamond suit. And I mean, Bob made a practical choice of trying 3 no trump, which seems very reasonable to me. But he was probably, you know, a little bit concerned that if his partner was 3-1 in the black suits one way or another, they could easily be missing a slam. You know, Peter has a hand that I think a lot of players would just not open 2 clubs. I think 2 clubs is a pretty bad bid with the East hand for a lot of the reasons that I've said, which is that like you take up so much bidding room and you haven't started showing your suits. And Peter has a hand that is not so strong that he really wants to force game opposite like a balanced Yarborough. Right? Even in no trump, he appears to only have 7 tricks. He has 5 diamonds if his partner has diamond support. The ace of clubs, the ace of hearts. He might get an 8th trick if they lead a heart or club into him, but 3-0 is still pretty far off. Yeah, so BZL says the other table opened this a diamond. I think that is a much better bid because you're going to be able to open a diamond, and as long as your 1 diamond doesn't pass out, you're then going to be able to reverse into 2 hearts, which is forcing. And then you'll be able to show your club suit, even if partner makes some sort of like sign-off attempt, whatever your like artificial weak response is to reverses. And so you'll be able to show the strength of this hand, but you'll actually get across, I have diamonds, I have hearts, you know, maybe I have a club fragment as well, and you'll be able to do this at a much lower level than by opening 2 clubs. But 3-0 ultimately, Bob sitting on 2 kings, plenty of stoppers in both the spade and club suits. The unbid suits is pretty content to just set up his clubs. He has this king of hearts nicely protected as an entry. It's now just going to be a question of over tricks. If the opponents can cash out their spades here, or if he, I guess, like misguesses the queen of hearts, maybe that will be fewer tricks for his side, but it looks like we have 3 tricks in. We have 2 more clubs coming home, 2 hearts and 3 diamonds at the very least. That's going to be 10 total. And Larry Cohen just, I guess, thinking about what to do. Okay, so he cashes the spade ace. This is not going to upset Bob too much. That 10 of spades has now been set up, I think. Maybe the 10 of spades hasn't been set up. I actually didn't see the first trick, but it looked to me like it went spade, jack, queen, king. I suppose we're about to find out, because I can't imagine Larry Cohen is doing anything other than continuing spades here. But we'll see. Maybe the 10's not set up, right? Because Bob just has the rest of the tricks if this 10 of spades is a winner. Okay, okay. He eventually does just claim the rest of the tricks. So 1 imp, 3-0 in the east was played in the other room. On what we found out was a little bit of a different auction after the 1 diamond opener. But same-ish result, 1 extra trick for Bob Hamman here. And we got 5 boards to go in this segment. So we're sitting in 4th seat, we got a 12 count. We would be very happy to open a diamond in 1st seat, but I don't suspect that we're gonna have that opportunity. Hey Craig, welcome on in. Did you want me to join you on Discord? Does this mean you're back? This probably means you're back from your boating outing. You are back. That's good news. All right, I will get myself plugged in here so that you don't get any feedback from me. And we can welcome you onto the commentary duo. Hello.
Hey,
Great. So we are kibitzing Bob Hamman. I know you had suggested this was the thing to do. Um, we've seen some ultra conservative actions from him so far.
has he passed any 14 counts yet?
Almost. Um, what was the biggest one that happened this set? I'm not sure. He had a 15 count that he could have overcalled white red. I think it was white red. Maybe it was equal white, and he didn't. Which I don't. It was like a small swing. Um, all right. So heart pass four hearts. Precision style. So we see Larry Cohen, obviously, doesn't have a preemptive four heart bid, but he knows his partner's limited. He's not really interested in searching for a slam. And I guess I was right. We did not get to open our hand one diamond in fourth seat. So the seven of spades opening lead. Could be something like king 8-7 or jack 8-7. Could also be 7-4 doubleton. I think we're probably going to play the queen. So I was going to say, I think we should play the queen if Declare sticks in the 10 or 9 spot. But it looks like Declare has saved us from that unfortunate fate.
Yes, that's kind of interesting, right? Like, what holding is consistent around the table where Declare is doing that?
Singleton.
Or partner having King 8-7 or something like that, or King 8-7 fourth.
Right, yeah, that would be the singleton. Um,
No, partner having. Oh, Declare having a
yeah,
singleton, yeah.
yeah. Um,
So this feels strange.
it's probably okay, but yeah, I agree. It kind of seemed like maybe we wanted to switch to clubs to set up our club trick if we had one coming.
Yeah, or at least like give it a look before, you know, returning that Queen of Diamonds. Like,
Yeah,
it can't hurt Declare if Declare is willing to give up a diamond trick
right.
himself.
Okay, so Declare going after the diamond roughs. I mean, it's starting to sound like Declare had the stiff spade and started with four
Yeah, it feels
diamonds.
like Declare is 1-5-4-3.
Yeah. So, like, it's very possible that maybe we should have switched to trumps when we got in with the diamond ace. Declare might need to rough two diamonds and a club in the dummy, and we could pose some real problems. So, ace of clubs, club. Declare wins the king. Now we'll either rough another diamond or rough a club.
Probably a club given. Oh, never mind.
We've only taken one trick. I mean, it's starting to sound as if we're not really taking very many on defense here. I mean, partner might have the heart ace. That's possible.
Right, so Declare is going to take this and with the hearts splitting at least four hearts, so we're not going to beat
Right.
this.
Yeah.
Yeah, it just seems like roughing a club there was more natural after we've already seen North pitch on the diamond, but and I guess Declare could be 1-5-5-2, right? No, it couldn't be. Sorry, could it be 1-6-4-2?
Yes. Yep. He could be. Definitely could be. Yeah, so it's possible that he wasn't roughing a club and he's just cashing two clubs before continuing his cross rough. So spade rough. Looks like our prediction of singleton spade and Declare's hand was correct. And we'll have to see. I mean, I have the feeling that we're going to see a club ruff now. So he does.
Yeah, so it was 1-5-4-3.
Yeah, and our partner, to pose any sort of threat to declare, would have needed to pitch spades earlier. But Peter didn't really know what was going on in the spade suit, and understandably was holding on to his king of spades. But now declare is able to just easily return to his hand with a spade ruff, claim the last true tricks with the ace queen of hearts, it looks like. Push board in both rooms. So an opening trump lead would have been necessary to prevent this cross ruff from happening.
Yeah, I think that still would have been a pretty comfortable plus score, right?
Yeah. And actually, I guess declare can just ruff the spades good in that case because the trumps are 2-2. So nothing to be done, just 12 tricks. Ooh.
Yeah, so this was looking like a pretty normal Smolin for South, but now we can stop off and try to collect a number.
Right. Well, Peter and Bob are not collecting numbers. There was a hand earlier where both sides played in 3 diamonds after Michael's bid. Like, Peter Weichsel opened a spade and rebid 3 diamonds on King Jack fifth with no noise from Bob, with a Michael's bid on his left. And he found it. He found the minor suit. He was just so lucky Larry Cohen didn't double.
Yeah, so here, maybe Bob is not totally sure what his double means. This is a new partnership, but like that pause before doubling 2 hearts kind of suggests that he's not totally sure what his options are.
Yeah, that's probably correct, because if he had a penalty double, he would just make it, and if he didn't have a penalty double, he would just pass. Or 3 no trump. I mean, whatever it is he would do. So, right, the slow double feels like maybe he was just trying to recall some conversation they had 2 days ago or 5 days ago or whatever about what these doubles are.
Yeah, a relatively new partnership. Mm-hmm. So,
but yeah, so this should be penalty for one or both suits, as long as Peter interprets it that way. And well, David Berkowitz is going to be in a bit of a bind.
Yeah, like poor David is sitting there with 2155 or God knows what.
Yeah, exactly. So, we're obviously going to be much happier if the auction ends in 2 hearts doubled. Okay, well, now we're going to be very happy if it ends in 2 hearts redoubled.
Yeah, I mean, presumably it'll go, pass 2 spades double, redoubled pass, 3 of whatever Larry has of, so we'll double if it's diamonds and pass if it's clubs. Mm-hmm. But yeah, this is going to be a nightmare for East-West wherever they land, or for North-South wherever they land. Like, I think Hamman and Weichsel probably just both know at this point that it's going to be 11 or 1400, regardless of the contract. Oh my God, what is going on?
This is the same thing that happened earlier, except now Bob has actually suggested penalties.
Yeah, so obviously Weichsel and Hamman have no idea what this double of 2 hearts is. Yeah, it feels like this is a huge, even if they go plus, it's a huge missed opportunity.
Yep. Yeah, for sure. So, I mean, I kind of talked about this when it came up earlier, that the younger experts are very, very good at just collecting numbers in these spots, and we haven't seen that from either of these teams. They don't seem to be very well positioned for aggressively going after, like the opponents are going down 3, and rather than just passing it out and collecting plus 300, you get plus 800. So
Yeah, so what do you lead here?
I probably would have led a diamond. I don't know what Larry's hand was, but, both majors are on my left. Partner has suggested he has both minors, probably. And the player on my right has showed a long club suit, so I would pick the 4th suit. But we will see in a minute. This could be a while before Peter plays to trick 1, though, which is a little annoying. No, okay, he's playing quickly. Low heart to the 10, and he wins the queen. All right. How's our contract look after this start? Well, we have 3 heart tricks at least, 2 clubs, 2 diamonds, and a spade. That's 8. We probably can end play south. So if hearts are 4-2, we can of course just set up the 5th heart. And if hearts are 5-1, I think we can strip squeeze south. Okay, hearts are 5-1, so we'll want to show some good technique here, but basically the idea is going to be to get to some end position and lead the king of spades out of hand. If south ducks, now we've set up 2 spade tricks. We can just lead low to the queen, and if south wins, we can then go queen of spades spade, throwing him in. I guess this might be contingent on south having 5-5. It
feels like south probably is 5-5 from the auction because David redoubled 2 hearts, so...
Yeah, so I was hoping it would be 100%.
It feels like David is 2-1 something.
Yeah, I was really hoping this strip squeeze would be 100%. I mean, it definitely is if we play south to be 5-5. But maybe we can come up with a slightly better plan somehow. This diamond pitch, I think, gives a lot away about the shape of the hand. David probably wouldn't pitch a diamond if he didn't have 5 of them.
At least 5.
So it's starting to sound like David is going to be either...
Probably exactly 5 because he pitched the 5 and not the 4.
Sure, yeah. So it's probably likely that David is either 2-1-5-5 or 2-1-6-4. And, maybe there's the influence that Larry Cohen should have led a diamond if he had one. So maybe declare is, or North is 2-1-6-4. But we'll see soon enough.
Maybe, but that would be really subtle to pitch the 5 diamonds instead of the 4 holding them both.
Yeah, so BZL says try ducking at diamond. I mean, I think effectively, as long as our plan is just going to be to strip south of the minor suit cards and then lead the king of spades and execute the strip squeeze, because now we have a full count on the heart suit, so we'll know if Larry Cohen has stiffed the king of hearts, and otherwise we can just exit a spade to him in the end position. We should be okay.
So I think we probably want to lead a spade pretty early, though, right? I don't think David has the ace of spades, but he might. But also, don't you want to start getting everything that's not a spade out of Larry's hand?
Yeah. Right. That's the whole point. So let's say Larry is 5-5-1-2, right? We can cash the ace-king of clubs, cash the ace-king of diamonds, and then lead the king of spades. We don't even need a dummy entry.
Right, but aren't you better off leading a spade early just in case David has the ace unexpectedly?
Sure. I'm just trying to simplify the position. You probably do, and there should be some sort of way to effectively protect against the ace of spades in David's hand. and maybe there's ways to protect against 4-3 spades as well. But
This seems weird.
oh,
So Peter ducks a club, and then Larry returned a diamond, and Peter ducked that as well.
this I'm pretty certain that Declare still wasn't going down, but this was a very unusual play. I mean, now he's just cold, right? He can just take the marked diamond finesse and everything's fine. He just has his 9 tricks, but yeah, this felt like a little bit of a weird line of play. I mean, ducking a club doesn't make sense to me. I guess ducking a club is fine. Never mind. Ducking a club is perfectly fine. South could have been 5-5-0-3, and you do need to strip all of his minor suit cards. Hey, Allie, welcome.
Yeah, but he's still banking on Larry having the ace of spades, right? Because now he's cut off from the ace, king, ace, and the minors if he leaves the king of spades.
Oh, sure. Okay. Yes. At this point, he needs Larry Cohen to have the spade ace. Otherwise, David Berkowitz can just set up his club suit. Yeah, I noticed the result in the other room.
Right. Yeah, which this room could have had pretty easily.
Yep.
Yeah, so even if they go plus the north-south, the east-west confusion over what their doubles meant is going to cost them at least 5 minutes.
Yeah. Well, Larry Cohen thinking for a while, and this probably does mean he has the spade ace. If he didn't, he would just start pitching hearts. So oddly enough, this is going to result in an overtrick for Declare for his efforts. He can cash the diamond, cash the ace king of clubs, and then lead the king of spades, and it's the same strip squeeze, but now he's collected an extra diamond trick along the way.
Right.
So is that still 5? It's now going to be 170.
170 is 5.
Okay.
Yeah, it's like I can't figure out what Larry could be thinking about here.
I mean, he obviously sees the strip squeeze coming, and he's probably like trying to figure out a way to avoid it. But it's just not happening. Sorry, Larry. I mean, maybe.
Yeah, I guess just hoping that he can figure something out for a plus, but it is
right. Yeah, I mean, like maybe he's hoping that David has much stronger clubs than he does, and so Peter won't be able to like just cash the ace clubs and ace king of diamonds here. But yeah, we'll see. Yeah, BZL says there might be some clock issues. They have been playing a little bit slower this set, which of course is understandable. I mean, it's a very close match.
Yeah, it's true though. 3 boards with 14 minutes. Mm-hmm. There's no way they're gonna finish on time. I mean, hard to know who's at fault here. Like presumably Weichsel has some of the blame, but I would guess it's not a totally solo effort.
Oh, it's funny. It's not even just a strip squeeze, because Larry here, hold on, I'm going to uncover the hands because I think this is cool. So if Larry pitches a heart, then we throw a spade from dummy. No, Larry does need to pitch a heart. Okay, never mind. It's the position's not as cool as I thought. Like if Larry pitches a spade, now the strip squeeze operates, but if Larry throws a heart and Declare leads the king of spades, or sorry, Larry pitches a heart, Declare has to pitch from dummy. If he throws a spade, then, all right, well, this is what happened. So the defense has done well. Hopefully everyone understood, because I did not explain that at all. But it's only going to be 9 tricks. Dummy basically got squeezed on that king of clubs to some extent. And so now Larry can just go ace of spades and exit a heart to dummy, forcing them to lead away from the spade queen. So 5 imps, which means Hampson will, or Hamman will be ahead by 34, 3 boards to play. Ooh, look at this. More time has been added to the round clock, and we still have yet to figure out what that means. Are we fumbling around with the claim button? Okay, that is what we're doing. 9 tricks. Taken 5 imps for Wolfson. Could have been a bit worse, you know, especially in this end position. If David Berkowitz actually happened to have the ace of spades, Declare was just going down in 3-0. Would much rather be the side collecting 5 or 800 against 2 of a major doubled.
Yeah, we were correct about Berkowitz's shape, 2-1-5-5. Yeah.
So a spade on our right. We don't have a bid over that, so we pass. And I probably wouldn't be very tempted to balance in this auction regardless of what happens, just given the ace-jack, 4th of spades. But we'll see. I mean, like, if a no-trump comes pass back to us, maybe we could come in with 2 hearts. Well...
yeah, I think it's a little too scary with such a weak heart suit and those minor suit cards. Like, your only good feature is the spade trick.
Yeah. So Bob, I mean, has been conservative all day, has been conservative the entire match. Of course, not going to bounce with 2 hearts here, but this is definitely one of those positions where I could have believed the other room might have taken a more aggressive call. They did not. 1 no trump in both rooms. So club lead to the king.
Feels like Declare is probably going to either play on spades right from dummy with the good spots or cross to hand. So we're going to have to play a diamond as soon as we can to try to get that entry off the board.
Yeah, well, what's interesting to me is the way the first trick went, right? That king of clubs could have been an entry if Declare had the ace. So I think there's a very, very strong indication that our partner has the club ace.
Right.
Otherwise, Declare could have won the ace of clubs, started playing on that juicy spade suit over there, and used the king of clubs and ace of diamonds as entries to establish and then cash the remaining spades. So, well, Declare is going after hearts, and it looks like this might be somewhat productive for him. He is going to be able to establish 3 heart tricks, but in the process, he is setting up our long heart suit.
Right, so we're going to have 2 spades, 2 hearts, 2 clubs if your analysis is correct, which it feels right. So we need to find a 7th trick somewhere.
Yeah, although... it's possible we might only get 1 spade because Declare just doesn't really have the entries to set up spades anymore.
Right, but if we duck the first spade, partner might be able to lead 1 to us later.
Yeah, I mean, I think I'm winning the first spade. Well, partner has pitched a spade, so we'll know what's going on in the suit when partner.
Yeah, that's a...
Yeah.
I mean, to me, that suggests partner had 3 spades.
Right, yeah. But... so that to me... I mean, like, I could duck, I don't really see the need to collect two spade tricks, but you're right. It's well, that is a potential play. It's also possible Declare just plays a spade to the 10, right? Like I think that's something that could happen. Okay. Bob elects to duck, so he goes with your suggestion, and I think you're right. Spades started 5, 4, 3, 1 around the table. Partner still has one spade left, which means that once partner gets in with, king of diamonds or the whatever, he can put a spade through. Will he find a spade through? I'm not sure, but
Well, he doesn't need to yet, right?
no, he doesn't need to yet, but if he plays back a low club, we might be a little bit end played.
Well, we can exit with a low heart.
Yeah, ace of hearts and a heart, you mean, I guess?
Or whatever, yeah. I mean, they're the same, but yeah.
Alright, north-south of 5 tricks in.
Yeah, so they're going to take at least one diamond, I think. And one heart?
Well, 9 of hearts, so we better win this trick. And then we better put the queen of clubs on the table. Partner should overtake.
Win queen of clubs, and then play a heart because we have no choice.
Well, that would not be successful.
I don't think technically ace of spades is right.
No. But I mean, like, we're definitely switching to the club queen here. Partner can run that suit. It's true that we...
Oh, you think partner has the club slots to overtake?
Well, partner needs to overtake, right? Otherwise, the contract just makes...
Otherwise, the contract just makes...
Declare gets a heart and a spade. We have to just play major suit cards out of our hand.
Oh, right.
So, partner does overtake. They do have the 9 of clubs, which is a big card. And now, as long as partner has that last spade, we will collect the last 2 tricks. There it is. So down 2. Slightly more accurate defense, I guess you could say, from this partnership has led to, or maybe just a better opening lead as possible. So 2 imps for Hamman. Multiple expert commentators. Where? Where are you seeing these expert commentators, PJ?
Yeah, not here.
Yeah, definitely not on this stream. You must be talking about the official stream. Which, I still have no idea how they get 100 viewers. Where are all these people coming from? Okay, other room has sped up a little bit. They've already finished this board. 4 spades in the north, making 4. Well, that's a surprising opening bid, given what we just heard. 4 spades in the north. So David Berkowitz has opened 2 clubs precision, 6 or more clubs, some minimum opening hand. Our partner's made a takeout double.
It might have gone 1-no Texas with an off-jave hand or something like that.
Yeah, that's possible. Is the wolf pack catching up on the meat men? Are you hearing sounds from outside? Because there's definitely like a ruckus going on just outside my window. Okay, well, I have a feeling this might end the auction. So that's not going to be a great result for North-South in this room, given what we know about the other scorers. But we'll try and be unbiased. So 3 clubs all pass. I have to imagine that Larry had other options available to him, like if he wanted to show a natural spade suit or if he wanted to show values.
Someone must have.
Okay. Diamond lead.
Oh, I don't love three clubs.
What would you do? Would you redouble?
I think so.
Okay.
It's already at the 2 level, which gives you some safety if you have to end up doubling them. If they land in two of a major, you're thrilled. If they land a two diamond, you can decide later, including three clubs. But bidding three clubs immediately seems really committal.
So, I mean, there is something that three.
Like, it's such a narrow target.
Well, no, I mean, there's something that three clubs has going for it, which is that the opponents haven't found their fit yet. They probably have a diamond fit, and it's true, like, three clubs doesn't preempt them out of three diamonds, but you can imagine that if Peter had some sort of off-shaped takeout double, the opponents might stumble into, like, a three heart contract over three clubs, and then you would be pretty happy.
Maybe, but your hand is a 9 count with two aces. Isn't it just going to go all pass most of the time?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, like, I'm not going to argue with that. Like, you're probably playing three clubs an awful lot. But I think your big win is that West, the hyper-conservative West that you happen to know never bids, would bid three of a major here and run into an absolute chainsaw.
Yeah, I feel like you're better off forcing him to bid two of a major running into a chainsaw.
Yeah.
Like, are you really afraid to double two of a major?
I mean, no, but I would rather double three of a major.
Sure, but I think three clubs is never going to push them into it.
So 11 tricks. We can see what partner had over here. It is
So partner
not a
has
particularly good game.
a somewhat unsuitable hand, and the diamond finesse loses.
Yeah, I mean, game is down if West leads a diamond at trick one, but I guess North was declaring.
Right, so they did bench to right
Yeah,
side.
they might have just been able to right-side it, and then somehow that was enough. But that's another large swing to Hamman. So last board of the set. The round clock is about to tick over. We're going to see what happens when it gets down to 0. 1, 0. Okay, we're on break. But this could mean that there are penalties coming in.
I would think, and probably it'll be against the Hamman team, because I think Wexel is the slowest player at the table.
Yeah, although we've seen Cohen be a little bit slow on some of these decisions.
Oh, Cohen is not fast.
Yeah. So we'll have to find out.
Yeah, he was slow. Cohen was slow before he took a timeout, and now that he's back after a long hiatus, I imagine he's feeling the need to think about a lot of these positions.
You're hoping for confetti or fireworks once we hit the countdown timer. That would be a nice addition to the interface. They should have someone program that in.
So meanwhile, how do we feel about Hammond's one no trump?
I mean, I wasn't going to ask, but this has been typical Bob Hamman throughout the entire set. He's consistent. He is consistently hyper-conservative about all of his actions, which is perfectly fine, right? Like, I would rather play with a partner who is consistently underbidding by, queen
right,
than play with someone who's all over the place. But yeah, it does feel like 5-4-2-2, prime 17 count, two good suits. I would prefer to open a club and reverse into two diamonds with this hand. Let partner play the no trump, especially if they're the ones with the heart stopper.
Yeah, like, I don't like reverse auctions in standard, but when you have the perfect hand for it, it can be pretty good.
Yeah, and it's like we're not taking up a bunch of space. This isn't like we open a club and reverse into two spades and before we know it, we're in 3 no trump without having found anything out. Like over 2 diamonds, partner has the full 2 level to do something. We can rebid 2 no to show our shape, and then we'll probably get to the right spot over that.
The 2 hearts was like, what's going on here?
This is, who was it yesterday? Steph. Steph was like, just underbid at your first opportunity and then bid like a madman.
And then catch up, yeah.
And so we see that now. A no trump, 2 clubs, stamen, 2 diamonds, 2 hearts, pass or correct, right? Like, I have both majors weak. And Bob bids 2 no as his correction over 2 hearts. Although, wait a second. Wait.
Maybe 2 hearts was a light invitation?
I mean, it has to be, right? Peter has an 8 count.
I mean, he's on the bubble. He could have intended it as, like, a game try if partner had a major, or garbage statement if he didn't.
Yeah. That's true. I mean, look, this entire Hamman team has been incredibly conservative the entire time. So...
But I actually think that evaluation is okay, where you bid statement, and if they respond, one of your majors you raise, and if they don't, you give up. Like, that seems kind of normal to me.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, this auction looks ridiculous.
It really does.
So how are they doing here? So they've taken 3 tricks. He's going to take 3 more diamonds, and a club is 4? Maybe a heart if it's on side, and a spade because it knocked out the ace.
No. The ace is still out.
Oh, the ace is still out?
David Berkowitz led from ace 4th, or maybe ace 5th, but at least ace 4th.
Oh, I see. Well, and then he got the next round. Oh, right, of course, because North have taken 0 tricks, yeah.
Okay, so the club suit's interesting. The opponents have 7 clubs between them, and they both followed low on the first round of the suit. So one of them has false carded in terms of giving count, which... It's starting to look to me like Larry Cohen started with King 10 4th in clubs. I wanted to get that in before we played another club, but I don't think David Berkowitz would have followed with a spot card on the previous round.
Mm-hmm.
So we are setting up our club trick eventually, which means, we're 4 tricks in, we'll get a 5th from clubs. It looks like we're getting another trick from hearts now that they've switched to a heart. But...
yeah, although it's going to set 2 tricks for the defense at least.
Yeah, we now might have to make a decision, right? Because if the defense can cash 3 hearts and a spade, 3 hearts and a spade from here, we need the diamonds to run. Otherwise, and it looks like that's what Bob has kind of concluded, I wouldn't be so convinced about this plan. I might have soldiered on by continuing the club suit and just hoped that the opponent's hearts were splitting.
Mm-hmm. Or blocked.
Yeah. Because we started with a 7-card heart fit between our hands. Okay, they were not splitting or blocked, so Bob did the right thing. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh no, never mind. Bob's absolutely right. Even if the opponent's hearts were splitting, they would have 2 clubs, 2 hearts, and the ace of spades. So that would just be down 1. Let's check in on the other table. Where did they reach? We do have Ross Grable in the other room sorry, West. Steve Garner in the other room did reverse. So he showed both of his suits. And why do I feel like something bad has happened to declare? Oh, no, he's going after the club suit, but he's done kind of the same thing. But somehow he didn't manage to... Like, the spade suit has gone a bit awry. I don't know, maybe there was a different opening lead in this room. Oh, of course, it was played from the other side. Ah.
And sort of. Obviously, they've lost spade to the ace, but they're going to take the same number of spade
Right,
checks,
right.
So
and so Declare in this room has done a
irrelevant.
lot better. He's been able to set up clubs, keep North off lead to protect that king of hearts, and now he just has 9 tricks set up. He was able to access that 5th club before the defense really got any of their suits going. I'm kind of surprised by all this because Ross Grable was in multiple times with clubs, and all he really needed to do was continue the spade suit, setting up his partner's 8. This feels like a pretty large miss to not defeat 3-0 in this room. But I don't know, maybe there's a bit of a carding mix-up. So that's possible. There's the 9 of spades, but it's a little bit late. Wait, no, it's not late. It's not late. Oh, okay. I'm dumb. I'm dumb.
Yeah, like, so with no... I think he's still okay. Declare can still make this.
No, North's hand is good. So, yeah. There's... Okay, it was almost too late. Almost too late. Hey, Koopa. Welcome on in, Raiders.
Oh,
We are about to go on break, which means I think I had 1 board to play left in the... I did, in the declare play only thing. So I will finish that up. We'll see how badly we did, and then we will sit around and talk about what Wolfson needs to do to come back and win the match.
With 1 quarter to go and stuck 50 odd imps.